Thanks, Cam, for taking some time out of your afternoon. It's October 4th, and as you can see, Cam Vanderveen in Kelowna is actually on a job site. And
Yep.
While in school, while playing varsity volleyball at University of Okanagan, British Columbia. So, Cam, I'm going to ask you the first question. I got to start out. I got to ask, why are you painting? And it's October 4th. You don't have to be painting. How come?
Well, this is one of the jobs that when clients wanted it done sooner rather than later. So if I didn't get taken now, I most likely wouldn't have gotten the job later on or come next season. So I decided to take it on with the little free time I have between volleyball, school, and other priorities and stuff like that. So, and it's also nice to have the extra cash as well.
So you're at the University of British Columbia, Okanagan. What's your major there?
I'm in the Bachelor of Management program. So I take a bunch of business courses, some financial accounting, as well as other courses like marketing, human resources, and lots of other things like that.
And you're on the volleyball team?
Yep.
So how many?
I've been, this is my going into my fourth year of volleyball now. So it takes 20, 30 hours a week that I'm usually practicing or playing games, and that's not including our travel weekends. So yeah, it's a fair amount of time that I'm given towards that.
So with travel, you can be upwards of 40 to 50 hours a week.
Depending how often, we travel. This year, we're not traveling as much because of COVID still, but it's still going to be fun.
So tell me, you ran a business now for 1 year, and how did you find out about Scholar's Edge in the first place?
So one of my teammates, actually, his name's Ryder. He did this a year before I started, and I kind of knew about it, what he was doing, and didn't really have the full scope of it until he had finished his first year, actually. And that's when he recommended me. He's like, "Oh, you should try this. Like, your dad's a painter, and you know how to paint, so that part would be easy for you. And then you just get to learn how to run a business because you're already in the Bachelor of Management program." So I'm like, "Oh, that'd be a perfect way to put 2 and 2 together and try and make some more skills."
So looking at, you've done this for a year, you've done really well. Your summer is award worthy. We haven't presented our awards yet. You definitely were one of our top Dean's List students for the year. What if you were to recommend a student for Scholar's Edge? What kind of student would you say, hey, like this is the ideal candidate?
I'd definitely say someone who has ambition, because if you don't have ambition in your life and you're just okay with sitting around kind of doing whatever, getting to not having any goals to hit during a day, whether it's assignments or going to go work out or go for a hike or something like that, you don't have any ambition to like, oh, I want to go do this and I have a goal in mind when I go do this. It's very hard to motivate yourself to get going in those days, especially with Scholar's Edge or running your own painting company, as it's a lot of work and sometimes you overtired and just can't get out of bed in the morning, but you need something inside you to motivate yourself to get out of bed in the morning.
Right. Why do you think? What do you think is your best characteristic as to why you've been successful with this summer?
I've found that knowing how to talk to people, different clients and stuff like that, and deal with difficult situations that arise, has been, I guess, the best quality. I built relationships with a lot of my clients and stuff like that, and a lot of them I'm still in contact with and will most likely have more work for me to be doing in the future. And they're also giving out lots of referrals to me as well. So I think that was probably the most helpful thing, along with time management, actually, making sure you know where you're going to be and getting there on time as well.
I think you've forgotten one trait that I think people that know you, you're like the other franchisees at Scholar's Edge, know you to have an incredible work ethic.
That as well, yeah.
Where does that come from?
That comes from years of starting labor work with some family friends and stuff like that in middle school, and then I began to work for my dad in grade 10, and I painted for him for 5 years. So I've had lots of experience, and whenever I was working for him, I always tried to, I guess, beat my time for doing things, whether it was masking off a window, painting a room, or something like that, because I always thought that, like, oh, I can always do better. I make my dad more money or something like that, and just always push myself further with it.
So you're also, with being an athlete, I would say also a very competitive individual. With being a franchisee at Scholar's Edge, did that motivate you to be our top guy for first year operator?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I've played volleyball since middle school, and I've been competitive with it all my life. So in the off season, when I'm not playing any games, it's been like we didn't even have any actual season games last year because of COVID. So I like all my competitiveness had to go out somewhere. So throughout the summer, throughout in our company, the other Dean's List operators and stuff like that that I had to compete against, but also the other companies in the area like Student Works and other painting companies. I had to compete against them for jobs, as well as competing against my own company for its top or spot on the Dean's List as well. So it really helped me get my competitive anger out, I guess, throughout the summer. It was always motivated me, and I was always ready to keep doing more because I know that would push me towards the top.
Awesome. So you're looking now. You've been promoted. You're a regional manager next year. Gonna run a business. What are your goals for next summer?
My goal for next summer is to, well, personally, I'd like to produce a lot or pretty much double what I did this year. But on top of that, I'd like to help other students pick up this challenge that Scholars Edge has for them and work towards learning to run their own business and gaining that mindset as well that I grew into over this past year, because it's been phenomenally helpful to me, and it's opened my mind to a lot more different ideas that I could be doing and stuff like that.
So as an RM, how many people, how many students do you or franchisees do you hope to support?
I'm hoping to overlook 3 people in the Kelowna area, Kelowna, West Kelowna, or maybe possibly Vernon as well, just because it's in the surrounding area and there's a lot of work in the area. So it's not going to be an issue no matter how many people we have in the small of an area or within a large area as well, because everyone's looking to get painting done.
And you know, as far as our average, our average company wide, that would be you hopefully seeing 3 people do anywhere from probably $270,000 to $320,000 worth of business.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yourself doubling, if you double what you did, you'd be well over $500,000 in revenue next summer. Sir. And that would be a pretty cool feather to put in your cap. So
exactly.
I know that you also have a midterm at 2:00 here, so I'm gonna cut this meeting short. I thank you, Cameron, for just giving me some time here so that students their prospective students that are looking into the Scholar's Edge opportunity can watch a video like this and ultimately get a bit of an introduction. And it's kind of neat that we did this while you're out on a job site in October. It's not normal for students to be painting in October. You just decided to take a job on that just fell into your lap at the last minute here. So anyways, Cameron, thank you so much. And yeah, that's all.
Right, no problem at all, Jamie. Thank you so much for this. Yeah.